Hey there, friends. My name is Tradgik, and for those of you who don't know me, I am a speedrunner, streamer, and content creator here on YouTube. And I've been meaning to get this vlog out for a little while. I've just been kind of getting sidetracked with a lot of stuff. The weather has honestly gotten excessively hot lately, and it's kind of just been jumbling all my plans. Even spending 3 or 4 minutes out here is just sometimes too much. So that's why I tend to stay in the bedroom. See, the last few weeks have actually been a little rougher than usual. There's been a lot of complications at work and in life, and there's a bunch of deadlines coming up for so many different things that it's kind of had me reflecting on the last 2 or 3 years of my life where things have kind of drastically changed. For anyone who's new to the channel or doesn't know the full story, essentially about 2 or 3 years ago, me and my longtime girlfriend of over 12 years had separated, and it kind of forced me into a bit of a depression for quite a long time, something that I kind of still deal with even today. But in that time, I've had a lot of ups and downs where I've met some really interesting people, done some things that I never really thought I would have done before. And more than I'd like to admit, I've attempted things and failed. You can even just check my previous YouTube history for that. But over this last week, it's really gotten me thinking, like, what's next for me? What is the plan? How do I take my life to the next level? So I got myself a notebook so I could write down some ideas and a game plan for how I was going to kind of take my life to that next level and really start getting to where I want to be. Next year, I'm actually turning 35 years old, and that is crazy because I started doing YouTube videos when I was 15.
Alright, so I'm done at my grandmother's. I had pretty much some spaghetti and meatballs for dinner, which was pretty good. I kind of wanted some ravioli, but it looks like everywhere I go, nobody's got any, so I'm gonna have to buy some.
My first video ever was actually a PlayStation 1 collection video. I remember doing it up right after watching Pete.1 and a few other YouTubers unveiling their collections, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. And that video has not aged well. It's very, very bad. I don't even think I have it anymore. But it was the spark that got me to do something different in the first place, which was start a YouTube channel. Since that time, I've done a lot of things, like picked up the guitar and learned how to play a few songs. I've even wrote a lot of my own music and stuff, and even though I can't sing, I do enjoy actually playing. I started speedrunning over on Twitch, which, by the way, you guys can check that out right over there. Super funny stuff. How many seats does this couch have? I was like 1, 2, 3.
Curves,
It just like kept going, and I was like, what the hell?
and there's a bed.
Oh my god! How many people would you have in this little? What would this be used for?
Wait. No, there is a TV there. Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah,
At least
no, okay.
that makes
So,
logical sense.
What would this room be used for? Like an orgy? Like people just sit around the table and like wait their turn? Like they just sit there.
That
and
is the
patiently
most
watch?
organized orgy I've ever heard
I know.
of.
I'm just like, wow.
Sit around, everybody waits their turn.
Why?
Fucking Christ,
Like,
Corey.
why?
No, if you're at an orgy, you're
Why
banging
would
on the
you
couch,
need-
you're banging on the table, you're banging on the storage box.
The Google box.
The Google box.
I'll provide a link to all this stuff, by the way, in my link tree or whatever down below, so you guys can just check that out in the description. And even though I've kind of tapered off a bit, I want to start getting back into these things. I want to start doing a lot of the things that I enjoy, because these last 2 years being in this massive slump have kind of made me just miss a lot of these things that I used to really love. So, overall, what is the plan, right? What am I going to do? Well, first things first, we got to start eating better, which means we need to go get some groceries. So before we do anything else, let's go do that. All right, so we're here at Superstore. Now it's time to just go in and grab some groceries. So we're gonna need these for sure. And what do I have? I have this and that one. Sure. I see they have yo-yos, but I'm actually looking for a Rubik's Cube. I want to learn how to solve one, but it doesn't seem like any of these places ever have one. All right, there we go. So now that we have our groceries, we have to meal prep for the week, because that is a very important part of this whole process too. You bought the good food, now you gotta eat the good food. Before you can do that, you gotta make the good food. And eating out at work every day is just not gonna be a good strategy, so let's go meal prep. All right, so the water has started to boil. We can toss this all in there. And then I just tap it against the side and see if it comes out, but if not, it's fine. And what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna grab a spoon, one of these bad boys, just kind of mix it all up in here. This is really awkward to do with my left hand, but you know, we're powering through. That's what we do. All right, so now that's done, we can just pop that on, turn the heat off. I like to leave it for a few extra seconds if you feel like it's not doing so well, and we just move it right off the heat. All right, so while all that stuff kind of gets settled, we are going to start cutting up our chicken. Now, if the audio in this video is kind of flip-flopping all over the place, it's because I'm jumping between using a little lav mic and just the camera's kind of like audio. I don't have the best setup for a lot of that stuff, so I'm just making do with what I've got. So yeah, so what I do is normally just cut it right down the center like this, and then kind of take it on its side and create these little almost like chicken cubes. In a way, it kind of just makes for overall more quantity when you go to separate it into your meals for the week. Now, I also only separate it for 4 days instead of 5. I normally use Friday as a day to go out and get something. Try to make it decently healthy. You know, your Subways and stuff like that, if you want to call that healthy. But yeah, you can toss all this stuff in the pan. It'll all get separated once we start to actually cook it. So we're going to want to do all 3 of them to give us, you know, enough protein for the week. And, you know, depending on the meal type, like not the one we're making today, but I also like to sometimes throw in some eggs if we're doing more of a chicken fried rice type deal. But for the most part, meal prep has been chicken, rice, broccoli, some seasoning, stuff like that for quite a while now. That's been the go-to, so yeah. All right, so as you can see, this one in the back has started to boil a little bit, so we're gonna just pop that down there. And we got ourselves some frozen broccoli. Any brand will do. This is just happens to be the one that I have. We're just gonna pour some of those in there. There we go, just let the steam kind of come up, cook them. Now keep in mind, you will be essentially reheating this at work, so anything that gets missed will just be able to get kind of handled through the microwave later. Just get them all separated. That's still going nicely. You can just let that sit for about 15 minutes or so. And then these, we're just gonna lift that up. Oh yeah, they're starting to get a lot softer. Just kind of set that like that. Don't even probably need the cover anymore. All right, so once it gets to about this point where there's still a little bit of pink in there, I just keep tossing it around here. Once it gets to this point, I like to finally start adding in some of the spices and stuff like that. Some people would probably wait longer. I know some spices tend to burn pretty easily, but I say screw it. We're gonna let it cook through and through. So what we're working with today, we've got a little bit of a garlic and herb. So we're gonna start off with just some of that, just kind of sprinkle it all about. Let it get mixed in, because you'll probably come back with a little bit more a little later on. We've also got some chipotle mango, which is pretty cool. Thanks to Japanese, I was gonna say mongo, but just because of how ma is pronounced in Japanese. A little bit of sea salt. Just kind of sprinkle that on in there. Fine sea salt. You could do some pepper if you want, but I know pepper burns quite quickly. And some original Cajun. Just a little bit of the Cajun. Bang, there you go. And then we just kind of mix it all up. It looks kind of like super coated right now, trust me, but once you kind of just get it all mixed in there, it'll be a lot better. So there we go. It's got a bit more of that like goldenish color, which is kind of what you want to see. That's going to let a lot more of the flavors kind of sink in. And we're just going to let that sit. Now at this point, some people might actually suggest draining the chicken, which I would probably suggest as well, so you can get that nice little golden brown kind of tinge on the outside, but honestly, I'm just too lazy to do that right now. Plus, I like mixing in some of the rice sometimes, and if it soaks up the juice of the chicken, it can kind of give a bit more flavor to the overall meal. So, meal prep is something that I've actually been doing for a while. I used to work over at the mall doing a lot of retail gigs, and during that time, of course, you would just go to the food court and pick up whatever you wanted. Before that, I worked at a grocery store, so you could just buy whatever on your lunch. But now that I work in an office, I have to make my own meals or take a drive out to get something. And it's overall just saved me a bunch of money to just make it at home. So I've actually been doing this for years. So this is really no different. But the types of food that I make, I want to make sure that I'm always leaning more on the healthy side. So because of that, you get a lot of chicken and broccoli or, you know, rice and whatever. And I try to stay away from pastas and all that stuff because it's just like really, really fattening. But for the last little while, I've been kind of eating like crap. And I feel like it's about time I change that. And before I can really do much else, of course, we still got a bunch of random boring adult stuff to do, so I gotta get my laundry put away. Which, by the way, while I was doing this, I thought, here's a helpful tip for anybody out there who doesn't know how to fold a shirt. If you guys ever want to know how to properly fold a shirt, what you do is you face the logo towards yourself, grab it like 2 fingers like that, and thumb on the other side. And once you got it like that, you use your other fingers to kind of flip it around. It might take a little bit of getting used to. Sometimes it's just about the feel. So you flip it around mainly so it's almost like lined up with the actual graphic on the t-shirt. Do the same thing for the other side. And then if your sleeves fold over, you can kind of fold it in like that. So when you hold it up, it's got this like perfectly kind of rectangular long shape to it. Tuck it under your neck. Do a half flip right around here. Then a full flip. Boom. Perfect fold. Learned that while working retail. And now I don't need it anymore. So hopefully that helps somebody out there. All right, so once you've got your meals prepped, you know, your stuff ready for the week, all your cleaning and all that crap, you also have to worry about your physical health, which means that you got to work out. And way back in March, I actually started going to the gym 3-4 times a week. And I was doing that consistently for about 3 months. And then I hit another massive roadblock full of excuses and I stopped again. But starting this week, I will be going once again, getting back on that horse. I already lost 15 to 16 pounds or somewhere in that range, and I'm really hoping that I can kind of keep going from there. So I've got some weights here at home whenever I can't make it to the gym and a few other things. So I'm going to try to put all that to use and kind of keep you guys updated on like my progress throughout the next few months. But all that stuff is obvious. Clearly, if you want to feel better, make yourself eat better, make yourself work out, do those kinds of things. I mean, obviously. But that's not going to change everything else. That's not going to upgrade your finances. That's not going to upgrade all these other things. And a lot of that stuff can kind of be a little complicated. Sometimes you got to get an extra job, or maybe you create something and you can sell it that way. Or hey, if YouTube blows up, you guys really love those ranking videos, maybe that'll be another form of revenue. But who knows, right? So in the meanwhile, I actually thought the better thing to do would be just to set some goals and really try my hardest to hit them within the next few months. Now that can be anything from picking up a book and trying to read more, whether it's a novel or even just some manga, something to just kick back, relax, and really kind of absorb something that's not from a screen, because when I'm home, I'm on the computer or playing my PlayStation or whatever. When I'm at work, I'm on their computer, and then if I'm not doing this, I'm watching anime in the front, I always have a screen in my face. I need something to kind of reduce that screen time. But when I'm not reducing that screen time, I want to try my best to get a few more platinum trophies. Last week, I actually just clocked out Elden Ring after 68 hours or 86 hours? I can't even remember now. But after an insane amount of time, I ended up platinuming Elden Ring, and at the same time, I think I'm only like halfway through the DLC, so I've been doing that. But I want to get some more platinum trophies. I've got Spyro 3 lined up, and I think a few other games I was looking at that I really hope to get done soon. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll stream some of them, so we'll have something to do on Twitch. And of course, I'd like to spend some more time with friends and you guys. I'm thinking about creating a public Discord, but at the moment, I don't have one set up. But if I ever do, I will make sure there is a link down below for you guys to follow. And yeah, leave suggestions for different types of channels you guys would like to see incorporated into something like that, because I would love to be more social and engage with people more. I would also love to do some more collaborations with other YouTubers or other content creators. So you might see some of that in the near future. I got some stuff in the works, but nothing is kind of set in stone just yet. I've been trying to dedicate at least a day or two a week to making some content here for YouTube, and maybe once I get my schedule all sorted out, I'll be able to do some like regular streams on Twitch again, which would be a hell of a lot of fun. But a lot of that stuff is going to take discipline, especially to mash in with all the other stuff that I've mentioned here in the video. But, you know, I'm dedicated to making sure that my life gets better every single day instead of letting it stoop to just this place where I just don't want to be. But with that said, I think this video has gone on long enough. I do want to thank you guys again 1,000 times over for all your support on the ranking videos and here on the vlogs and just everywhere that I've seen your guys' amazing and wonderful support. It really means the world to me. If you guys want to support me on any other platforms, you know, Instagram or Twitch or any of that stuff, there are links in the link tree down below in the description, so you guys can just click that. It'll take you wherever you want to go. I don't have a TikTok really as of right now. I was uploading some stuff, but it's just not really my platform, and I know probably one day I'll have to evolve and kind of adapt to it, but it's just never really been my thing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming, checking out the video. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.